This is question 5 on page 222, still playing with section 15.3. And so question 5, it says a pair of triangles, each pair of triangles is similar, so that matches that one, yep. Find the missing sides and angles. Alright then, so let's just do A first over here. Let's look at it carefully. The 25.6 corresponds to the 64 here, it's on a straight line, so AC corresponds to CE. We know that because they're similar triangles. 32 centimeters corresponds with CD here, and the 48 centimeter height corresponds to the height of AB, or the Y there. So I've got two questions trapped within the one. Again, be very careful what you want you put on top. So let's just say X divided by the corresponding smaller side 32. Just like comparing the big one, 48. No, I won't do that because I haven't got the corresponding Y yet, so I'm going to backtrack on that. So it would have been correct, but I couldn't work it out. So what have I got here? I've got big over little equals big. Well, this is the 64, one of the big sides on the bigger triangle, divided by his corresponding smaller side, 25.6. Take over 32. X equals 64 divided by 25.6 multiplied by 32. And that will give us an answer straight away. So 64 divide 25.6 multiply 32, we have exactly 80. Alright, so I'm going to write it into the storyline. So that's 80 centimeters. Now then, what have I got? Let's do the Y, shall we? So Y and 48 are good friends. Let's change to red. So Y divided by 48, so I've gone little over big equals little to 25.6 over big, which is 64. Now, I could have used the 32 and the 80, but don't do that in an exam, just in case you make a mistake with this calculation here. You would then be carrying your error forward to other questions, so don't do it. Always use what you're given. So I've gone, you go with you in the same way as you go with you. Alright, so you're matching the corresponding sides. So take the 48 over and multiply. And that will give us an answer. So here we go. 25.6, divide that by 64 multiplied by 48, and the smaller corresponding side to the 48 is 19.2 centimeters. Right in there. That's that. Same sort of thing here. Let's just study the diagram carefully. We have the 3.5 matching the A. We have the 5 centimeter line matching the 7 centimeter line across the other side, and I suppose we can have the B there in green matching the 7.7 here. So I've colour coded the corresponding sides. Now look very carefully. That 68 is that 68 there. That's the corresponding angle in this position here. Therefore this must be 74 straight away. So 74 degrees is X, and I'll leave it there. No calculations required whatsoever. Now let's work out A first, and we'll do it in blue since I've coded it blue. So I want A, put it on top. So A divided by corresponding 3.5 is just like saying, let's have a look. So I went big over little equals big over little. So that's going to be the 7 over the 5. Alright? So okay, so this over this equals that over that. Take the 3.5 over and multiply. Get your marks. So here we go. 7 divided by 5 multiplied by 3.5 gives us 4.9. Lovely. 4.9 centimeters, and that's 4.9 centimeters. That's the A. Now we're going to do the B in green. Won't stand out, so I'm going to do it in red. Okay, so B divided by his corresponding bigger length, 7.7. So B over 7.7, just like comparing the 5 with the 7 in that order. So once more time, small over big equals small over big. Alright, take the 7.7 over and multiply like so. Let's just do that quickly. 5 over 7 multiplied by 7.7, and we've got 5.5. Not surprising. But the B is going to be smaller than the corresponding 7.7. So that's that. That's those two questions done. Corresponding angles sorted as well. So that's 74, like I said. Let's see if we can do another one in that kind of vein. Right, this is question 6. There's 4 of these, and I may only do 2. So let's see how it goes. Now, let me just decode what we've got here. I've got a large triangle, and there it goes, large triangle, just follow my pen, that's that one, and I've got a smaller triangle, 20, 7 and another unknown. Alright, so if you can think of them in separate ways, I've got this big one here that goes 30, right angle and X, and I've got the titchy one which I do next to it that goes 20, that's that, then 7, then a right angle. Now it's obvious to see now, having separated off these things in your brain, that the 30 goes with a 20 and the X goes with a 7. Alright, so once I've drawn these, I won't keep splitting them off for you, but if you think of it in those terms, big triangle, similar to the smaller triangle. Okay, so again I'm going to use this technique and work out X. So X over 7, then we can see they're corresponding. So X over 7, which is like comparing the big 30 divided by the smaller 20. So take the 7 over and multiply. I just want to give you an answer straight away. So listen to me speak it. I'm going to go 30 divided by 20 and then multiply by 7. Do it in one step. We can do that. We've got 10.5. Not surprising, because 10.5 is going to be the bigger corresponding length when compared with the corresponding length of 7 on the smaller shape. So that's it, 10.5. Let's do the same sort of thing here. Watch out, a little bit more tricky. Now what we've got here, and I will draw this out being this sort of question, we've got 11 plus X, and therefore that's 11 plus X, and we have an 18.9 there. Alright, so an unknown trapped within this length. And the smaller side will be like this. Same shape, but smaller. I've got a length of 11 from there to there, so that's actually 11. And I've got the length there, which is 6. So what have I got? I've got the 18.9 corresponding to the 6, and I've got the X plus 11, let's go black, I've got the X plus 11 corresponding to the 11. So I've got myself a bit of an awkward equation. So I've got to do the same thing. I've got to form an equation, I'll set up a ratio. It's still an equation, isn't it, with an unknown X. It's the same here. It's a little bit more complicated. Let's go for it. Right, what I want I put on top. I can't get X directly because I've got 11 added to it. So I'm going to do what I normally do. What I want I put on top. So 11 plus X divided by his corresponding length, the 11. Alright, so this over this equals that over the 6. So 18.9 over the 6. Okay. Take the 11 over and multiply. So I've got 11 plus X equals 18.9 divided by 6. Then multiply by 11. I'll work out that step first so I don't get too complicated. Divided by 6, multiply 11. So far I've got 11 plus X comes to 34.65. I hope to squeeze in my answer here for X. Well, clearly take the 11 over next door and subtract. So that's going to be 34.65. I'm going to subtract the 11, squeeze the answer down there, and I have an answer of X, for X, of 23.65. Just check that over. Yes, that's fine. Okay, it doesn't look right, does it? I mean, look at it, honestly. 23.65. Well, that's what the answer is. Can't argue with that. That's what it is. And must do what the math says. These pictures are never drawn to scale. In fact, it'll always say so in the exam, so you're not tempted just to measure, and try and get marks that way. It would never work anyway. All right, one more time. X plus 11 is the large side. 11 is the corresponding small side. 18.9 is the large side, 6 is the corresponding smaller side. Okay, and we've set up a little equation or a ratio, and therefore solved and got X as 23.6. Turning over the page, 2 more troublesome things, and I'll probably stop this video after this question anyway, I think. Right, what we got then? Well, let me just draw the big triangle. The big triangle goes 12 and mystery X, and the little triangle goes 6 and little 4. Straight away, 4 and X are friends. Let's just do it. So X over 4, again, little over big equals 6 over 12, and we're going to take over the 4 and multiply, and I'm just going to give you an oops. looks like a little face thing smiling. So x is going to be, well, 6 divided by 12 multiplied by 4, so it's going to be half of 4, 2. So straight away 2 centimetres. I suddenly touched that on the screen. Right, this one over here then, same sort of thing. I've got x and y, I've got 2 questions, oh lovely. So let's just try and separate it a little bit. I've got the giant one that looks a bit like that. From there to there I go 21 plus 7, which is 28. I've got a great big x there. And straight across here I've got an 8 plus y, okay? Rather complicated arrangement, isn't it? Now let's try and do this here. Let's do the little one. The little one is only 7 centimetres there, 8 centimetres there, and the parallel line with the x is 6. Now what can I do? I've got 2 questions trapped within one picture. Right, 28 corresponds with a 7, so that goes with that. And the x corresponds to the 6. So without any further ado, I'm going to work out the x using x and 6 and 28 and 7. So let's just do that quickly. X over 6 is just like saying 28 over 7, alright? Therefore take this 6 over and multiply. Again, I won't show it, I'll just do the calculation. So it's 28 divided by 7 and then multiplied by 6. That gives me exactly 24 centimetres. Put a 24 there, but I'm not going to use it. Yes, I absolutely have to. Right, then what have I got? I've got 8 plus y with the 8, and I've got the 28 with the 7. I use always what I'm given in case I made a mistake in a previous calculation. So I'm now going to work out y. So let's just look at it carefully. So 8 plus y matches the 8 there in the same way as 28 matches the 7 there. So let's set up a quick equation, and here we go. So 8 plus y divided by the corresponding length 8, so that over that equals big 28 divided by little 7. Alright, so we set up the ratio in the correct way. Again, take the 8 over and multiply, so 8 plus y equals 28 over 7, which is already there, multiplied by the 8. We'll get an answer quickly. So 28 divided by 7, multiply that by 8, gives us 32. So essentially I've got 8 plus y is 32. Therefore y is going to be 32 take away the 8. That will give us an answer, won't it? We've got 24. So y is 24. There you go. And not to be confused with the 24 there, it's just coincidental. There you go, that's it. You have to sort of split off the shapes into 2 larger triangles, and don't be baffed by the fact that we've got the unknown trapped with another number 8. We deal with that in the normal way and subtract it and it's gone. So I'm going to pause there because I think this video's gone a little bit long. Study that, won't you? They're a little bit tricky, but then again it's grade B, so what do you expect?